Hello and welcome back everyone to In My Shadow. This is part 6. I'm super excited. I hope you are too. For anyone interested, no, my phone is still not repaired. It makes writing quite difficult, but we have to keep it going. I'm a fanfic author. We do not stop. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. She guided him down the empty streets, only illuminated by the occasional street lamp, further and further away from the city center. The blade was hidden in the sleeve of her oversized pastel pink and yellow hoodie, making it look as though she was simply resting her hand on his back. My friends will come looking for me. They will. And then they'll find the letters you wrote them. They'll probably be a bit heartbroken for a while, but life goes on. Atsumu's heart stopped. He stumbled and only the press of the blade kept him walking. Letters. He could very well imagine what she meant, but it didn't want to ring through to him. They'd never believe that. Would they not? It's cute how little you think I know about you. She giggled again and pressed him forward. I know everything about you, Mia Atsumu. You struggled with this before in middle and high school, and they know. They were there. His stomach turned, and for a moment it felt as though he was going to vomit. The feeling increased as he found that she had led them to a small bridge, high enough, though, that a fall would be deadly. What was the angle? She didn't seriously expect him to jump, did she? What had this been all for? Don't look so terrified, darling. We're just going to leave these here. She waved his phone in front of him through the air and placed it on standby on the railing. They know that you took your brother's phone, so when they search for it, it's gonna sit here, nice and pretty, waiting to be found. No one would question your suicide when they find it. It's such a location. Go on, give it to me. He pretended to hesitate and shake. Her plan was good, but she didn't notice that he had recorded the interaction. If she left it here and they'd find it, they'd know he was alive. At least, he prayed so. She smiled brightly as he handed it over and placed it neatly next to his own. You have been acting so strange lately. It must be shocking, but not all that surprising to find out you had a relapse. A shame. Such a pity that the star setter never trusted anyone enough to open up. Her eyes turned soft, and her smile was utterly too genuine for this interaction. See, I know you, Atsumu. I knew exactly how you would react. What I had to do to get you right here, where we can be together forever. His breath came out shaky, and the world blurred a little before his eyes. There was a small distance between them now. Could he run? If she knew him truly that well, would she know? Was this just mind games? He had to try. He hesitated too long. The blade bored itself into his shirt again, and her hand curled around his wrist. Oh, and leave your shoes. We wanted to be convincing. He gulped. That sealed the deal. Without shoes, there was no way he could outrun her. Go on then. It's still quite a bit until we arrive home. He will die. Tonight, he will die. and he won't even get the chance to say his goodbyes beyond whatever lies she had crafted up in these supposed letters. He doubted they could be convincing, but it was true that in a combination with the phones, it looked rather convincing. He messed up. Somehow, he needs to get away from her. I don't like this. Me neither. It had been 10 minutes since Atsumu had left, and the atmosphere seemed increasingly more pressing the more seconds ticked by. Do you have any idea what has him so under the weather lately? That was a light way to put it, and they both knew it. Kita looked up at the younger twin and almost perfect replica of his boyfriend. The worry in Asumu's eyes was intense. Not entirely. He has shown signs of paranoia recently, and always seems jumpy and tense, but I don't think it's just him. What do you mean? I felt odd, too, a few times, and there were a few things out of place in the house. You think someone broke in? Asumu gripped the bottle more tightly to the point his knuckles turned white. I'm not sure. Nothing was ever stolen, but last night Atsumu suddenly screamed when he was downstairs getting a glass of water. He looked like he had seen a ghost, like he was running from someone. He looked similar when I saw him at the restaurant the other day, but if he was being followed, why wouldn't he tell anyone? Maybe he wasn't sure either. The silver-haired looked at him questioningly. Kita thought about it and tried to bring the events into an order that made sense. If I wasn't sure with the things I observed, because there was little evidence for their existence left, it could be the same for Atsumu. Only if he had been targeted and someone tried to continuously make him distrust his own senses, he might even dismiss bigger things as figments of his imagination, like he was gaslit. You think someone gaslit my brother? It's a possibility, now that I think about it. Why? I'm not sure. This is all purely hypothetical. But if someone were to do that, do you think they'd be here tonight? There was a heartbeat of silence between them in which only the music and drowned-out conversations could be heard. Then they moved. At once they stepped outside to search for Atsumu, but nothing. The blonde crown of hair was nowhere to be found among those standing outside. Get the others, I ask around. Kita nodded. He rushed back inside, immediately zeroing in on Sakusa, who had found himself a cozy corner to stand in his typical fashion. Kiyomi! Shinsuke, what is? Atsumu's missing. Help me find Aran. Sakusa's eyes widened and he looked around frantically. Shouldn't we find Atsumu first? Osamu's looking for him outside, but if you see him here, tell me. Why outside? He could barely follow as he was dragged through the room by Kita. His eyes scanned the crowd around them for any of his boyfriends until he spotted Aran, Suna and Komori by his side, and this time it was him leading them through the masses. Atsumu stepped outside to call his mother about your victory today, but he hasn't returned yet. What is going on? Atsumu's missing. I discussed the possibility with Atsumu that someone else could have caused Atsumu's weird behavior lately. We need to find him right now and make sure he is safe. Is Atsumu... He is searching for him outside. Wait here. I'll go check something. With that, Suna left, heading back to the table where they left their bags. What now? Maybe... He's not outside. I searched everywhere. Atsumu was out of breath. He held his sides, but his eyes slowly filled with panic, and the others could very well sympathize. Maybe he went home. Could be that after everything, this got too much for him. But he promised to stay close. Why wouldn't he tell us? Maybe he didn't want to burden us. You know how he is. Perhaps he pretended to have fun until he couldn't anymore. You go, then I'll stay, in case he comes back here. Kida wasn't 100% convinced of the plan, but he nodded. It was their best chance. There was still the possibility that he had misread the signs. He prayed he did. The four of them rushed outside into their car. He prayed to any deity willing to listen that upon arriving home, Atsumu would be there. Suna rushed to pull the phone from his pocket and typed in his password. There was an easier way to find Atsumu. If he had Atsumu phone, Suna already knew where he was. For instances like this. Well, not specifically like this. They had an app to share their location in case someone got lost. He quickly opened it, and within seconds found a signal a couple of streets ahead. It was moving. When he turned around, however, the group was nowhere to be found. Damn it, you didn't have time for this. What the hell was Atsumu doing? One thing was certain though, he wasn't running. If Suna hurried, he could catch up with him and tell him to get his ass back here before anyone would die of worry. That idiot! He flung on his jacket, and with his phone in one hand and trying to close the zipper with the other, he ran. He followed the signal, running faster than he would even in volleyball practice. He hated seeing Atsumu this worried, and Atsumu was currently a huge contribution to that. In all honesty, he also hated seeing the blonde hurt, but for the God's sake, what was he thinking running away like this when everyone was already on edge? He turned around the last corner when suddenly the plain before his eyes widened, his view unobstructed by buildings. There was a bridge leading over the river to another part of the city, and there was Atsumu, with a girl. Atsumu! The blonde's head snapped around and he fixated him. It was only then that he noticed all the red flags of the situation. Atsumu had no shoes on, his face was coated in tears, and the girl was way too close for comfort. She sidestepped, repositioning herself, one hand always on the setter's back. A smile adorned her lips that couldn't look more plastered on. Suna Rentaro, how nice to finally meet you. The way she said it, it sounded the opposite of nice. Suna froze, suddenly on guard. Something was very wrong. His mind worked overtime to figure out what, when it was shown straight into his face. A deadly metal glint pressed against Atsumu. If you want your friend to live, come over here and keep your hands where I can see them. Oh, and turn off your phone. He gritted his teeth, but did as he was told. What in the gods' names was happening here? Aran stared at the words before him, but his mind refused to process them. This can't be real. His breath caught in his throat. Numb, he gathered the pieces of paper and stepped out of the room. The letters had been placed on the bed in the guest bedroom. He remembered Atsumu going in here this morning to get his phone, but then leaving without it. Was this what he had set up instead? How could they not have noticed? His sight blurred as he arrived in the living room again and offered the papers to the others. The heated discussion on what to do next died at once. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope you liked it. If you did, remember to leave a like under this video. It would really help me a lot. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on the next part. Also, you might not believe me, but I am sorry in the way these videos end. I know you that's kind of mean, but also I can't make like there is no good point to end them. I swear, like I wouldn't have to make like a 2-hour video for the whole series not to end it on a cliffhanger. Special thanks to my nerdy neckos. Your support means the world to me. Here are my other social media, though I'm easiest to reach on the Discord. Check out, the link is in the channel description. And of course, there are more videos in the end card. Check them out. I think they're pretty great. Now have a wonderful and amazing day. Bye!
Get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.